Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying for Beginners with Jim Misiura. Today we're going to tie a fly I designed myself. This is Jim's Stone. This is going to be an all black little stone fly. The hook that I have in the vise, I'm using a Lively Legs lip splitter. This is a number 17 size, or number 710 size 14. This is a barbless nymph hook. 1 extra strong and 3 extra long. And I have a 3mm black tungsten bead on there. I'm going to use black thread. For the rib, I'm going to use black fly tying wire. And this is really thin stuff. It's just the size of the thread. But the rib being black and the fly black doesn't really matter if we see the rib. This is just for the protection of the abdomen. For the body, we're going to use a black pheasant tail. And for the tail, we're going to use black goose biots. And for the wing case, we're also going to use that black pheasant tail. And for the thorax, I'm going to use my black rabbit Krystal dub. We're going to get started by putting a base of thread down. We're going to bring that to the back. Now if you want this to sink even faster, you could go ahead and put some lead-free wire on there. I would put it mostly on the thorax section. But I'll be using this in the summertime when the water is low, so I don't really need all of that extra weight on there. We're going to bring that back just inside the point of the hook. Now we're going to put our tail on first. We're going to take our black goose biots and just turn them, and very nicely they split apart. So I'm going to take those last two and pull those off, and we're going to tie them in one at a time, and we're going to use the natural curve on that, which they don't really have that much of a natural curve on this one, but we're going to use that natural curve if it's there. We're going to make this tail just maybe 3/4 the length of the body. I'm going to tie it on my side first. I'm going to hold it tight to it. Just got a loose loop right there. And pull it right to the back because you want to put the pressure on the direction you want that to stay on the hook. Now I'm going to take the other one. I'm actually just going to size it up to the front of this one because we pull them off both at the same. So I'm going to just size that up to that. I'm going to take that loose loop, I bring it around, and I'm going to pull it towards me so it sticks to the side. Just like so. And we have a nice separated tail. Now that closer one, see, it went straight, so I can just go ahead and take a wrap underneath the one tail, take a wrap underneath the other tail, and that's going to hold them apart. Now I'm going to take my piece of black fly tying wire, and this is extra fine. This is the same thickness as the thread. We're just going to tie that on. Just be careful you don't move the tails again. Secure that. Then you can break these off. And we're going to bring our thread back to the tail position. Now I'm going to take the black pheasant tail, and you can see here this is softer. This is a softer side, which this wasn't a center. It was close to the center, but it wasn't a center. And here's the stiff side. And that's how you can tell that it is not a true center. If it was a true center tail center, you would have stiff on both sides. So I'm just going to take maybe 6 of those, pull those off. I'm going to tie these in by the tip. Got a small fly here. Just tie those in. And we're going to bring that thread right up there. We're going to wrap as much of this as we possibly can. So I'm going to take my hackle pliers and put it on the end. And we can just go ahead and wrap that. You could actually twist it a little bit so that they don't separate. And now while I'm wrapping, I'm going the same direction I wrap my thread. That's how I am wrapping the pheasant tail. And we're into the thorax now. You just want to make sure you get up into the thorax. If you come right up to the bead, that's not a problem either. We'll secure this, holding that tight so it doesn't unwind on you. Then we can trim off this excess. Just grab your scissors or your poke and snip. Now I'm going to take that rib. As soon as I find it there we go. And I pull that one a little bit. I'm actually going to take the rib and go under the tail. Oh, no, I'm not. But I'm going to wrap this, counter wrap this, being the opposite direction, so I'm putting it under and towards me. And this will secure that pheasant tail. If a tooth catches it, it's not going to unravel on you. Just break that off. It's kind of too small now. We can still got that split tail. Still looking good. Now I'm going to take the softer side of this. I'm going to take about 3/4 of an inch to an inch from the stem. Just put them all together and pull them off. And you want to try to keep them flat. And I'm going to tie these in. And I'm going to bring that back, okay, to where I want that abdomen to end. And we could secure that. Go ahead and trim off this excess. Now I'm going to take my Black Rabbit Krystal dub and I'm going to dub this, and I'm not going to skimp on this. I'm going to actually make a pretty big noodle, but always keeping it skinnier. It's going to take a few dubbing, take a few noodles. Here we go. And we're going to build up that thorax. I'm going to do another one. I want to get that GSS flash in this one. I'm going to bring it back and then bring it forward. Get a nice chubby little thorax there. Now you want to try to keep this wing case flat when you fold it over. Just kind of try to flatten that out there. Then we can pull that tight. There we go. Put a couple wraps in front of it. We can trim that off. And now we're going to whip finish. Take our whip finisher, put the hook over the thread, around the camel hump, bring it back. There's our X, slide that down. 3 to 6, 3 to 5, 3 to 6 wraps there. Trim that off. Now I'm going to take my head cement and I'm going to put the head cement right on that wing case and going into the head and let that soak in there. That kind of help preserve that wing case a little bit if a tooth catches it. Now I'm going to take my rough dubbing teaser. This is a 22 bore brush. And I'm going to tease that out. Mostly on the sides. And we're going to tease that out pretty good. And then I can take the other side. Tease that out. You can see I'm kind of pulling it both directions. We're going to tease them out. Get a little bit more on this, which is now the bottom. You can kind of push them back there a little bit. And here we have Jim's little black stone. Hope that you learned something from this video. Hope that you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends. Please visit my sponsors. Let them know that I sent you. Leave comments, questions, suggestions. If you'd like to purchase any flies from me, go to etsy.com/shop/theflymanjim. And if you don't see it, just let me know what you're looking for with a message, and I'll get right back to you, and we'll figure things out. And most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.